affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Infinite Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess and Klein and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help you get started right. Backpacks, the uniform is on. Accel Finance, we let them do something. No worries, no stress. We got your back, better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel Back to School loan. Visit today or call us on 435-8222.
Ring, 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 back to school loan thing. Accel Finance, help you joy of learning.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are superb distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta and more.
Okay, and we'd like to say hello and welcome to another Mikey Live program. My name is Mikey Hutchinson. I apologize for the little lateness. I think I might have overslept. And so we say hello and welcome to the first-time viewers on the program. And for those of you who are always on the program, we say hello, 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 hello. This is another Mikey Live program. We have a few things to tell you about, but most importantly, there is a story being told by a couple, a very young couple, about the death of their 2-year-old daughter at the General Hospital yesterday. It's a very, very touching story. We'll be sharing that with you in a moment. And we have other things to talk to you about. So let's brace ourselves. We'll talk about that. Of course, we have to let you know that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of course Grenada Limited, Digicel, Nawasa, Real Value, IGA Supermarket, Superb Distributors, Infinite Contractors. We also have with us the good folks at the Accel Finance, and of course they are having right now a back to school campaign where a lucky parent for their child would win a $2,000 scholarship. That's good. That's good. So, of course, we're looking forward to that as well. We're taking a break. And when we come back, it could be real news and thing in your Lily Lolo when we return.
It's the Quartz Appliance Event. Cook it, fry it, bake it on a new Ma-Base stove for only $1,799. Stack it, pack it, and chill it with a Frigidaire 4-mount fridge for $2,749. Laundry piling up? Wash it, spin it, dry it in a Frigidaire 17-kilogram washing machine top, only $2,399. Get it now and pay later. It's the Quartz Appliance Event, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end July 24th, 2024. Conditions apply.
You know, Grenadians, you just, you know, I said I was going to come here on the program and do my program as usual, not say anything, be a professional as I am. But you guys are killing me. Not, like, seriously, you guys make it so hard. You guys make it so hard to be professional. Like, I kid you not. I mean, I was late because I've been having to go through so many calls. So many calls have been coming into me. And I'm trying to focus on getting my program up, and I have to keep, with these calls, man. So, before I go forward, I just want to say this. I know that there are people who want to hear what I have to say with regards to the things that I've posted. All I want is to be able to live in peace with my family and enjoy them, because I have a beautiful family. Families, it means everything to me. And it's been hard to do that. Coming from work every day, late, leaving very early in the morning, coming late at home. I just want to spend time with my family. And sometimes it's hard because I have to do the program as soon as I come from work out in the field, and have to come here, get the news together. And then I get to spend some quality time with my family from after 10 p.m., believe it or not, you know? And then I have to juggle with that, all of the things that I have to do to maintain a professional life, and all of that, and still have to come to deal with issues with neighbors and stuff. So for all these years, I've been going through this and never said anything, because I thought that with time, it's going to heal itself. With time, it's going to heal itself, you know? And after 5 years, I said, but Mikey, you give the advice that if you do the same thing over and over and over, and the result is the same, you have to do something different. And so, for what it's worth, I decided to put out the evidence out there and just say, hey, this is what I've been dealing with for 5 years. And I was surprised to see that there are so many other people who've had these kind of experiences, you know, and I was shocked. And so the purpose for me was simple. I wanted some sort of resolution to what I was going through. I've begged and begged and begged the aggressors to please give me some space, give me some time, give me a chance, give my family a chance. For 5 years, I've threatened that if it doesn't happen, then I'll have to try something different. I never said what it was going to be. I'll just try something different. For 5 years, I've been begging for peace. I begged for peace, begged for peace. It never came until I decided to tell the world my story. And then there's an overwhelming interest for peace when I've decided to take the matter to an attorney to seek civil redress, which you know is very expensive and it will take some time, but I had no choice when I decided to respond. And now I'm hearing about peace. I have not been doing anything. I cannot accept responsibility for anything. I've heard that the others have told their story. I do not know if you are convinced that I have done anything over the 5 years that necessitated the level of stress that I was made to undergo myself and my family, you know? And so I really have nothing to say. I don't know. You know, I lean not on my own understanding. I trust the process, and that's what it is. I trust the process and see where that goes. I do not. I just want to live in peace. I don't have to agree with anyone to live in peace. I do not have to sign no documents to live in peace. Let's just live in peace. You know what I mean? Just live and let live. Live and let live. You know, because I'm just saying this for what it's worth. I know that a lot of people at least would say at least that they need to hear from me, and that's as much as I can say. There's really nothing else. You know? And I hope, because we've been there before, I'm just putting it out there, we've been there before where there's been agreements to be peaceful. And we're still here. We're still here. And there's a 6-year statute of limitation for claim on many of the matters that I have brought forward. What would you do? What would you do if you were in a situation like that? You know? I just want to be left alone, and my family left alone, so that we can live in peace. Right? So, speaking of peace, there's a family in Grandance who will not be sleeping comfortably tonight because they are crying foul. And they are blaming the General Hospital for the death of their 2-year-old baby. It's a hard story to listen to. You have to be strong. And we've had and heard many stories like these. And so we were asked by the family to be given a listening ear about their plight and their experience at the General Hospital yesterday. And so tonight I'd like to share that story with you.
Tell us your name and what has happened. My name is Tyrese Alfred. I am the father of Jillian Alfred, who have lost her life yesterday.
So talk to me, how old was her?
My daughter was 2 years old.
I'm telling you what happened.
Well, Sunday evening, so the whole day Sunday we was up. Normally my daughter was very okay. She didn't have no sickness. We went and sleep after we eat lunch, and we get up later in the evening. When we get up later in the evening, we stay up all night, well, until 12 o'clock in the morning. We was watching cartoon. But now as I hug in, I realized she get real hot, and that happened like in 1 second. She get instant hot. So I asked her, Jane, are you okay? Are you in pain? She said, Daddy, no. I said, what happened to you? She said, just cold. Normally when she have crisis, she does have joints pain and fever, but she just had a hot fever. So I was monitoring her, I give her medication, I put her rag on her head, she go and sleep. About 5 minutes after she get back up, and she started to vomit. I give her some water, then she vomit again. After she vomit, she went back to sleep. I tell you, the fever went away. She had no fever again after she do the last vomiting. My child was okay. I went and lie down with her and started praying. When we get up in the morning, I have 2 children, so I went and dropped my son upstairs in the daycare, which is behind me. And then I come back, the mother was in the room talking to her, changing the pampers. She said, Mommy, I'm tired. She want to go back and sleep. She go back and sleep. About 5 minutes after, I went to ask her if she want anything to eat. And my daughter was alive. But no, she is breathing. And I saying, Jillian. She saying, but she not moving. So I grab her and I try to slap her, Jillian. I open she eyes, she watching me, she saying, but she not moving. So I call my mom. My mom called me, rushed up in the hospital. When I reached the hospital, I went to the front desk, I bawled, sickle cell. I said, she have sickle cell. The woman start asking me, what's the father name? and what's her name? I say Ashups, and I let's walk inside, right? And I walk inside. Perhaps she didn't like that, so she come out and she trying to push me back. My child in my hand. I'm telling you, my child, and she going, my child in my hand. I say, miss, y'all have to see what I get a doctor. She say, no, I can't be in the back here. Them doctors are busy. I can't be in the back here. I say, she tell me go back and wait. I say, no, I'm not waiting. I say, got my child here. The woman left and go. When she come back with a police officer. I say, instead of you can get a doctor, you get a police. I say, watch my child. I show her my child. My child is there, and she going, I say, help her. I know she run and grab her and put her on the bed. The nurse never do nothing. She just put her on the bed and come back out and try to protect me and the mother. I say, no, watch my child. Look, my child there. Me and the mother stand up outside and watching jailing on the bed with she chest going up. Like she fighting for she life, you know. And I say, no, watch, look, she dying, she dying. Then you see all of them turn around and run and go inside. And I went, hush me, I did up there since 9 o'clock, minutes to 9. And I asked them for their help about a whole half an hour. They're trying to put me outside. They get the police to try to put me outside. I said, no, I'm not going. I'm not going. Try to help my child. I did be a whole half an hour till that center. When that center, the man, like, the doctor was not even there. And the doctor name is Dr. Gilbert. He was not even there. That man arrived after my child passed. Me and my girlfriend's on the ground bawling, and that man just take his time and walk in. Go inside the room, I just walk back out like 3 seconds and tell me, sorry, she dead. Like nothing, bro. That's what I mean, she dead. I had up here, I begging all you to see about her. They just studying me. I tell my mom there, all we there, we fainting off, we crying, we say, all that, give her one more shock. I tell when we go back in the room, I'm holding my child and open she eyes, she's still watching me. My child eye didn't roll back yet, she had a chance. They could have helped her. I never see them give her no CPR. I never see them put no oxygen. She mother just rest on the bed and come back out to let me and the mother go. And I say I'm not going, I'm not even focused on my child. Me and the mother they outside bawling, watching, jailing, fighting for she life. And they're starting to put us outside. You see? And then every minute we come back home, my mother fainting off. I tell my queen, she faint now, she get back up, she faint now, she get back up. So we had to rush her back in the hospital. A doctor go turn around and tell my cousin why we bring my mother up here for. And she can tell people they killed my daughter already. So why we bring her up here for, honestly, bro. That's real hard for us right about now. My daughter is only 2. My daughter never make it to school yet. My daughter now start learning to potty train. Now start doing stuff. You understand? And she just go so that real hard. That real hard. That real hard, man. My daughter could have make it. I tell you, my daughter could have been here with me today. My daughter could have been with us today. They didn't want to help. They was pleasing themselves. I tell you, they was pleasing themselves. To me, I find they just didn't like the way how I just roasting. When she tell me don't come, I feel that was a problem, honestly. But they didn't try, bro. They didn't try. I tell you, they didn't try. And then after, when we go to Otway, they just write on a piece of paper, the child arrived dead, and that was a lie. My child was alive. When I take my child out of the car, I say in jail, and she goes, she watching me. She going, but she just can't move, no front, no time open, she mud. I say, what going on with you, darling? What going on with you? What going on? I tell you, my child was alive, although she was on the bed, I tell you, my child was alive, bro. My child was alive.
Okay. Since the incident happened, have you heard from anybody from the Ministry of Health?
Nobody do come to us, bro. I tell you, like, we in this for ourselves. They don't care. We go back up in the hospital last night, they start giving a defense to you, but they never call police. They called the police for me. The woman leave and went and get the police officer. He came back. He didn't arrest me, right? But the man put his hand on the ground, on the gun, and he tell me, but relax, behave yourself, I really don't want to do that. And I say, brother, you don't know how I'm feeling. You don't know how I'm feeling. The man had no still on the gun, and I say, brother, you don't know how I'm feeling, bro. I wanted to react, I wanted to do something, but I was just too weak. I couldn't do it. They take my daughter alive. My daughter could have been here with me today. If they just push, bro. My daughter could have been here with me, bro. I want my daughter back, bro. I want my daughter back. All I want now is my daughter now. My daughter back, bro.
So, do you remember which part? Do you remember which part in the hospital? Was it in the accident and emergency, as we call it, the casualty area?
Casualty, I went in, and I bust open the door and go inside. They're trying to push me back. I say it's an emergency. I keep bawling. She have sickle cell. I say she have sickle cell. Please attend to her, please. The woman trying her best just to get me go back outside. I said no, I'm not leaving. I say watch my daughter. I roll her forward and I see Jalen hand go so she's still going I say listen to her. Just like that I lose my 2-year-old daughter. My daughter never make it to school, bro. I'm my first child, bro.
Do you remember what the nurse or the person who was trying to get you out of casualty? Was it a nurse in white? Was it a nurse in school?
Well, it was a lot of them, to be honest. The first was the receptionist, the woman in front, but this, she really put up the front and tried to push me outside and thing. Then after the nurses and them come after, the woman was in white, and then he had one in green. She hold my hand and tried pulling me, and I pull away. I said, no, how you want me to go? I look at my child here, I not see but my child. You understand? And then the other lady coming. She didn't have a no nurse uniform. She just had a sweater over her and things. So I thought she was a doctor. And that woman just stand up watching. She never even went in the room. She just stand up watching and saying what's going on. All this time to focus on me and the mother. I'm not focusing on my daughter. My daughter inside there fighting for her life, bro. My daughter was alive. They could have helped my child. They just had to please themselves, but they take too long. Now I lose my baby here. She's just 2-year-old. How I gonna make it now, bro? Huh? How I gonna make it now? That's my first child. Bro. That who make me a man. You know, she just gone. And like nothing come out of that. Nothing. Nobody to come us. Nobody to come and access nothing. It's people to do all the work and call people and say, yo, look what happened. Nothing to come out of that. Absolutely nothing. And that's really sad, bro.
Alright, so at what point in time, I need to know this, right? At what point in time did they take the baby from you? Just walk me through that moment when they took the baby from you. What was happening?
Well, no, I start threatening people, honestly. I start threatening the police. I start threatening the nurses and them. I say, I go hit all you. I say, if my child come back and she not make it, I go damage someone. I start threatening them. And when they realized the police couldn't get me to go outside and all of them couldn't get me to go outside, they take her from me. That's when they take her from me. And that maybe happened like after 9:30 so. 9:30, 9:40, that already happened when they actually take my child, decide, okay. First of all, they say he had no doctor there. Then they tell me he had a patient in the room. When we go in the room, but he had nobody there. Nobody there. Just an empty room. After I see some nurse running and they don't go into my child, they come into me and my girlfriend to put us outside. Why you focusing to put us outside? Go to my child. If they was paying attention to my child, I would have a child today. I would have my daughter here with me today.
Were you in the room when they started inspecting it?
No, they pushed me out of the room.
Nobody was there?
No, only the doctors and the nurse. I say, so what? Me and the mother want to go in the room. They say no. She tried pulling the curtain, but how she come back out, the curtain open up. And there I see my daughter now fighting for she breath. I say, oh, look, she fighting for she breath.
So she was moving?
She was moving. She was at the bed. I see she chest going up. I said, watch out, watch out. When she turned back, she see it and then she run inside the room. And then you see about 5 of them after run inside the room. They come too late, bro. They come too late. And I lose my little baby girl because of them, boy. And now they're trying to blame it on me and the mother and say, why we didn't bring her last night? And I say, how I could bring her last night if nothing never happened to her? She was not sick, nothing. She get fever after 1. And the fever maybe stay on her about half an hour and then gone. A hot fever. I say, what? A lot of stuff around my mind. I say, okay, I can't lie on the bed and I pray. My daughter was well. She didn't have no fever, nothing again. So I didn't think about to bring her in the hospital. You understand? In the morning when I get up, I realize she's still warm. So I say, I go bring her up now. They didn't pay attention to her. They didn't pay attention to my daughter.
Question, did she suffer a seizure before?
She never had a seizure yet. And all she cried she ever had was like she had fever and then most of it was joint pain. She joints and stuff hurting her. She never catch a seizure in she life yet. And she was not catching a seizure at that time. I watched her, she was not shaking up, she was not frothing, she was just like unconscious and she trying to answer me, she trying to talk to me. I calling her and she only saying, trying to talk, I open she went, trying to talk, I open she went, I said, talk baby, talk. She went, I said, Jada, come, something wrong. She opened she eye, then I know my child is alive because she eye was open. She had it open on her own. Bye. And yet for my mother went back in the hospital the night because she was unconscious. And they telling her why she come up here. And all they say we killed the child already, so why you bringing her up here, dog? Like really, that's something to tell somebody, the one's unconscious, you know. And, nothing have come out of this, nothing at all.
And what, given the information that you just gave, what would you like to see happen?
What would I like to see happen?
asking for?
I want justice for my child. I want justice for my child. My child is innocent. My child never made a mistake in her life. She's just 2 years old. My child is very bright, brilliant. She's just 2 years old. She checked from 1 to 20. She know all the colors, bro. She's just 2 years old. She tell her name, her grandmother name, her father name. She tell her where she live. My daughter was brisk and bright and intelligent, bro. Just Sunday night, me and my daughter watching a movie. And the person say a joke. She didn't even act or nothing. She said a joke and my daughter laughed. I said, wow, you understand that? That brings joy to my eyes. She understand a joke without acting. Just by words. I said, no, man, my daughter was real bright and intelligent, bro. My daughter was real bright and intelligent. I didn't even get to see my daughter get big. I never see she go to secondary school. I never... Gosh, boy. Ah, boy, ah. Why do you deserve this, boy?
And we also talked to the mother about this incident to have her side of the story. She didn't want to be on camera. We respected that, but of course, gave her an opportunity to basically to tell her side of the story in terms of what has happened. Because obviously this is a very serious allegation that is being preferred by this family against the general hospital, and we have had many instances of scenarios like this, many of which are brought to the attention of the higher authorities there at the general hospital. Now, I am not in a position to validate or invalidate their claims, but of course agreed to have them give their side of the story. I have in many cases brought cases like this before coming on the program to the authorities, and I'm not satisfied that I hear enough from them regarding these incidents, and I decided to just take a different approach to this. Here's a mother.
Name and tell me exactly what you want to tell me about it.
Well, my name is Juliet Son. I am the mother of 2-year-old Jalen Alfred, who lost her life on Monday. So what happened was, whole time on Sunday evening, she was good. Me and she was playing, we was doing TikToks and dancing and stuff. After Sunday dinner, we went and sleep. And apparently she woke up with her father about after 1. And he woke me up and he told me that she had a little fever out of nowhere. So I was questioning, I was asking her, didn't you have any pain? Because normally if she have a crisis, she would always say, Mommy, my belly hurting me. Mommy, my hand. Mommy, my foot. So I don't know, if it's time to bring her to the hospital if the pain is severe. But she told me no, she's not having any pain, and so we gave her medication, she vomits. I put a wet cloth on her head, she dozed off for a little while, and then she gets up to vomit again. And after I put back the wet cloth, I realized the fever go. So as you know, I put her to sleep. I went and sleep. I woke up the next morning about after 7. I said, well, she had like a warm still, so I went and dropped my son in the daycare behind me. And I said, I go into the kitchen to prepare breakfast for her. But before I went and put on the breakfast, I wake up to see if she was okay. I say, you good? She said, yeah. She told me she tired and she wanted to sleep. So I changed she pampers and I take out the jersey she had on to put on another one because he had vomit from the night before. And when I changed she clothes, I went in the kitchen to put on a pot to make some tea. And then the father went and checked on her. And he told me that she did not waking up. So I was asking him, I said, why you mean she don't waking up? Wake up. He said, no, something wrong. She not waking up. So then I run in the room and come by her. When I look, she just groaning. She don't answer me, but she watching me. She eye open. And then it's like she just hot as still. So I called the grandmother to give us a ride to go to the hospital. That was about after 8, I want to say about 8:45. So by the time we reach in the hospital, I don't really know the time, but I'm assuming it's about after 8, 9 o'clock for the latest. When we went to the door, we go through the door. I went by the receptionist and the father saying, she has sickle cell. The woman asked me what she name. I said, she name is Jalen. She just 2. She have a high fever and she have sickle cells. She keep questioning us. I say, oh God, just help her. Just look at her first because it's like, my job. I just hear and she, like, I see she just going up and down and like she just gasping for her breath, And I say, just watch her, You gotta take the names and stuff after. Just watch her. So the father bust through the door. I went in after him. We stand up in the walkway there and we hold her. We say, just look at her, just watch her. The receptionist come, she say that's how them doctors, and first she say he didn't have no doctors, then she come back and say them doctors and them busy. Then after that now, when we started to cuss and get on because I watching my child fighting for breath and nobody not assisting me, they're not helping me, they're not doing anything concerning my child life. So she leave, the receptionist left, she go and call the police come, he telling us to go, we say, oh God, just watch her. I say, please just give her 5 minutes, just watch her, watch how she groaning, watch how she breathing, just look at her, just look at her for me. Then the policeman, he put his hand on his gun and he didn't pull it out, he just had it on, he belt like that, and he's telling us, he don't want to do us that, and if we don't behave, he could come with force and he could call for backup. So I tell him the father, I say, well, let me just stand up and wait because I don't want no problems and I don't want them, I don't want us come as disrespectful and, as if we come to argue with us. I said, let me stand up and wait. We stand up, we wait for about a whole half an hour. Nobody to come and check on us. All the nurses trying to push us outside and saying we can't be in the back here. I say, oh God, my child on there in the back here, just watch her, just see about her. When about 9:30, about 9:40, after the father say watch her and she hand and things start to fall down, that when a nurse came, she brought her in the room. I brought in the room with her. She just put her on the bed and she pushed me on the side. No oxygen, no nothing. I say help her, I say give her oxygen, shock her. I say, oh God, do CPR on her. So then the doctor left the curtain a little open, and then I say, see, she lay down on the bed there for she said, why the doctor outside trying to push her and the father. I see my baby on the bed, and she just going up and down, and she just gasping for air. I say, oh God, you sorry nurse, just watch my child for 5 minutes. Then after a while, I want to see about, I don't even know. They come and tell me that about 9:50 something, so the doctor come, Dr. Gilbert come late and he tell me that, but first the nurse wanted to tell me she died, he said, doctor go talk to me. I say, oh God, just tell me if she dead, just tell me if she dead, just tell me if she dead. He said, doctor come in. When the doctor come, the doctor taking his time. When he have a book in his hand, he taking his time, strolling to it. Keep we balling, he taking his time and walk through. He go in the room, he don't even spend. He just come back, he just watch and he come back out and he come and telling me she dead. Right. So, we start to cry. After we went to Bailey's funeral home, the lady there, she told me that on the paper they say that she dead on arrival. So I say, she asked me what time I reach. I say, well, I'm not sure of the time, but I know I left home 8:40 something. So maybe I reach a little after 8 or minutes to 9 o'clock for the late. She say, well, that can be right because they say that the time of death is 9:58. I say, if that can be, she can dead on arrival if I reach the 9:58 because I reached there about 9 o'clock. She said, really? I said, yes. So I was surprised, and she said that's how they say that she was dead on arrival and Dr. Gilbert thing. So, I say, well, how Dr. Gilbert could say she dead on arrival and Dr. Gilbert wasn't there? When Dr. Gilbert finally came, my daughter was already dead. I was already crying. I was already rolling. She was already dead. So I said, Dr. Gilbert can't say she dead on arrival because he wasn't there when she arrived. He wasn't there. He came late. He came late.
The time I got to move for the morning, when she on the bed, I see the raise of the chest, like, and the only time she moved.
Right now, I don't even know how to cope. I don't know what to say because they're telling me that she dead on arrival, and I know my child was breathing the whole car ride from Granners to the General Hospital. I've been watching her. She been gasping for air every minute. The father asked me, is she breathing? I said, yes, she breathing. Just hurry up. Yes, she breathing. She breathing. And then they're telling me she dead on arrival. All on the bed. My child was fighting for air. She was trying. My child is a fighter. Oh, God. I don't know.
Alright, so what would you want to happen as well?
Well, I just want justice for my child, because I find what really caused my child death too. Yes, I know my child's sick with sickle cell, but I feel like it was neglect because she's starting to know my name and the father's name, and I'm telling you, my child has sickle cell, she have a high fever. I say she gasping for air. I said she can't breathe, just give her 5 minutes, just watch her for 5 minutes. She said the doctor busy, and they and things. She said, I no room. When the doctor finally take my child, the room empty, nobody know they in the room, and I know nobody didn't left the room because I was right outside the room, so nobody didn't left the room to say like they move a patient for she get. You didn't have nobody in the room. They just neglect my child. My child was only 2 years. I was getting ready for my daughter to go to preschool.
And that's the story. That's the story that that's the story that the family is telling. It's a tough one, and I hope that there be some sort of conversation between the General Hospital and the family so that they can be put to some degree of understanding as to what the hospital interprets as the cause of death and things like that, because at this point they feel like they have been neglected. They feel like the hospital is responsible for the death of their child, and this is a story that's being told. All right, I thought we owe them that, at least the chance to tell their story. And I've had my own run-ins with the hospital. Just putting it out there. I'm not saying that just putting it out there that I've had my my own experiences with the hospital when my son, was in crisis. The response was a little different, and that's how, and that's the kind of story we get. My son had a seizure, and I bounced into the emergency room, but it was a Sunday. Bounced into the emergency room, and they did not hesitate to give immediate attention to him because he was not fully responsive. All right, but I've had stories to the contrary. I've even seen things to the contrary. When my son had an IV, and we were on the phone or we were talking, and he, was keeping him company. It was the first time. It was the first time that he was away from his family. So we kind of like made it a little comfortable for him, So we gave him his device, and we were talking him through the night until he fell asleep. Well, he well, before he fell asleep, he was crying a lot. He says that his hand, the thing that they put on his hand is bleeding and it's hurting. And then he's, 3 years at the time, right? And he said it was bleeding and he was hurting a lot. So we called the nurse and we said to the nurse, our son has told us that the IV on his hand is bleeding and it is painful. And then the nurse turned it on us and said, well, you're not supposed to give him no device and the device and the device. I say, okay, fine, we can have a conversation about that after, but can you please check on him? And the device and the device, I said, well, I didn't intend to break any policy of the hospital. We inquired from the nurses, the day nurses, and the day nurses said, it's okay, give him the device. He's never been away from his parents. If that's what it takes for him to be a little comfortable to go through the first 2 nights of transitioning from sleep. He's never slept away from his family, never. And he's going into a hospital environment. That's going to be a shock for him. All right. And so when it was nighttime, we called him and then we was just trying to walk him through and everything like that. My son cried. After that conversation with the nurse, he cried. He cried. He cried. After the conversation with the nurse, he cried for 20 minutes. 20 minutes crying in pain. And the nurse was more concerned that we give him a device. He fell asleep in pain. And when he fell asleep, the phone stayed on because nobody attended to him and he was just crying. But they was not aware that the phone was still on over the bed. So he was, and after 20 minutes, and he fell asleep crying, I saw the nurse come over him and then checked on him. At that time, we did not know the severity of the problem. He was only 3 getting into 4 or 3. Yeah. All right. What do you imagine? All right. And then the following day, I brought it up to the nurses. I said, listen, I had no intention of breaking any policy of the hospital. I inquired if it's okay to give him a device. And it's like, of course. You know, they're children. You understand? If that's what he needs to make him a little more comfortable, that's fine. So the daytime shift says this and then the nighttime shift. But at the end of the day, you do not want the actions of the parent to have any bearing on the degree of care that you render to children, to a child, to an elderly, to a patient. I know it might be hard because at the end of the day, everyone is human being. But if you are so passionate about what you do, you would find a way to separate the two and not get emotions involved. And again, a child should never be left to suffer based on the action or actions of his or her parent that you perceive to be in contravention of the policies that exist at the general hospital. If I may put that out there. So we have results, and so many people are so happy to see how their child did, you understand, during the exam. So we'll have all of that for you. We have the national report coming up. I see that we have exhausted a lot of our time already. So the preliminary results, they're out, and you can find it on the student portal. I believe that they would have sent the link to the portal for the schools and then to the parents, so you can go there and see how your child did. All right. So, yeah. What else do I have to tell you? By the way, we had a conversation with the Coast Guard, and we'll probably be able to do that tomorrow, God's willing, because I see, again, in the interest of time, that we'll have to go out. But before we go over to the national report, again, I would like to say thank you to everybody who have expressed their degree of empathy with me and my family for what we have been going through for the past 5 years. It means a lot. And for those who have similar experiences, I do hope that you may be able to find some degree of resolution to your problem, to that problem that exists. And again, you don't need to be friends with your neighbor, just that you live and let others live. Nobody's above anybody else. Nobody has a right to think or to believe or to treat you in a manner that they think that they have more right in a particular area than you because they've been there before you, or because they think that they are more wealthier than you, or they think that their house is bigger than yours. I didn't even know all of these things still exist. It's in modern times, and at the end of the day, it doesn't boil down to how much you have. It's just the quality of life that you live. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, for me, once I have family, I'm good. Once I have my family around, listen, I am good. My family involves my wife, my 2 children, and my immediate family, and Kennington and Delvin, my extended family, who are here every day probably. You know, I love and appreciate them so much, you know, and we'll do anything to make sure that we keep the level of peace that we, that we want, and so again, we have seen. First time I look at horticulture life, to be quite honest, very first time, and I was kind of appalled at some things that I've heard, and so, but we're not even going there. All I've said from day one, and Goddess Shelley, I've seen your comments, and I agree. I'm not really interested in being bouncing buddies and with people who constantly violate you, and because now they have been exposed, all of a sudden there's this renewed interest for peace. I've begged for peace for 5 years, and so I'm wondering, Mikey, seriously, I am not even going to depend on let God's will be done. I have not harmed anybody in any way. I have not gone out of my way to make life hard for anybody, so I need not change anything about what I do, to be quite honest. I'm not even going to be a hypocrite. There's nothing that I need to change because I've been as peaceful, as concerning, as a good neighbor as I can be. I've not done anything. I'm not, like I said earlier, I am not convinced that you were given the evidence that you require to come to some proper conclusion that I have been a bad neighbor. I have not. I don't even have time for that kind of stuff. Out early in the morning, back in late in the afternoon, I work until I fall asleep, only to get up to work again. And my family has been living in constant torment and disunity, and it's just my wife feeling unsafe when I leave home. Nobody wants to live in that way. Nobody. And I've asked, I've begged for peace. Begged. And I chose to act this time by putting out the evidence. And now there is an interest for peace. Well, that's very good. Very good. And I'm very happy to see that. I'm very happy to see that you've decided to come, You understand? Yep. So, hi Betty Ann, how are you doing? And Monet, how are you doing? I see you're there as well. Yes. So, take care of yourselves. We have the national report coming up. I saw there is one person. Yes, I know. I know. I'm just going through some of the comments. I can't put it up on the screen. Hey, Anika, how are you doing? Okay, I'm seeing some people commenting about the high temperature. Okay. Okay, so a lot of people are commenting. About the whole situation with the child. Hi, Allah. How are you? So, all right, guys. I think this is it. I have not made any decisions. I'm just speaking out of my head. We've been there before. To be quite honest, we've been there before. I'm not interested in being friends or anything like that. I just want peace. Peace doesn't require sitting on a table. Peace requires you live your life and you allow others to live their life. You understand? That's what it requires. It requires living and letting others live, not doing anything outside of the norm to make life uncomfortable for others. That's all. Yeah, I'm very good with my neighbors, all the other neighbors around here. When you have a little excessive mango, hey, look at 2 mango, ting, 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 ting. Next time we speak is when there is more mango on the ground or something like that, and we are fine. Hey, you know, I'm doing this, or so, what's up, you know? But anyway, take care of yourselves. I hear the little door, so I know the little boys are coming in. God bless you. And if, well, no, I ain't ending the thing yet because we have the national report for you. So let's go ahead with the national report, and then we'll have the weather.
Affordable quality products delivered to you via superb service. We are Superb Distributors, wholesalers and authorized agents for trusted products you know and love, like Rika Juices, Pure Heaven products, Bibbin diapers, New Bright laundry detergent, Allegra pasta, and more.
Contact Superb Distributors at 435-2948 for superb quality and service.
Contractors and Machinery. We are your one-stop engineering and consultancy company with experience locally, regionally, and internationally. We provide excavation services and engineering consultancy, construction of residential and commercial structures, civil works such as drainage, retaining walls, roads, concrete patio services, paving services, concrete driveway services, remodeling and renovation, painting services, styling services, and so much more. Ask about our rental services of excavators, heavy equipment, metal formwork, and steel prop. Contact us today via telephone number 537-9675 or email infinitecontractors19@gmail.com.
Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store now has amazing deals, special discounted prices on wedding sets, watches, and selected jewelry. We sell top brand jewelry and watches like Citizen, Guess, and Klein, and G-Shock, all at the best prices in Grenada. We also buy scrap gold and offer the best deals and customer service on the island. Opening hours Mondays to Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Diamond Intercontinental Jewelry Store, located at the Esplanade Mall, St. George's, Grenada. Visit our brand new remodeled store or call us on telephone number 414-3114, 232-1234 or WhatsApp 533-1581. Sale is on for a limited time only.
Ring, 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 back to school hunting. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning. Ring, 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 your future is bright. With the Accel loan, help you get started right. Back, so uniform is on. Accel Finance, we let them do success. No worries, no stress. We got your back, better Accel loan and keep them on track. Ring, 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 back to school hunting. Accel Finance, help the joy of learning.
Accelerate your kids' education today with an Accel back to school loan. Visit on 435-8222.
Ring, ring, ring back to school loan thing. Accel Finance help the joy of learning.
It's the Quartz Appliance Event. Cook it, fry it, bake it on a new Mabe stove for only $1,799. Stack it, pack it, and chill it with a Frigidaire 4-mount fridge for $2,749. Laundry piling up? Wash it, spin it, dry it in a Frigidaire 17-kilogram washing machine top, only $2,399. Get it now and pay later. It's the Quartz Appliance Event, only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offers end July 24th, 2024. Conditions apply.
This is the GIS News for Tuesday, August 20th. I am Rakisha St. Louis. In the headlines, top medical official says Grenada is under no immediate threat of Mpox. We'll have details to this and more after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on, people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me, no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. Grenada is not under any immediate Mpox threat. That's according to this country's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sean Charles. Dr. Charles told the Government Information Service that while the World Health Organization, WHO, declares Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, a public health emergency of international concern, Grenada is currently not under immediate threat. He said that the declaration simply means that all countries should have their guard up.
What this means is that, what it means for the world is that all countries should be on alert and make preparations for the occurrence of possible cases, for potentially having cases imported into your territory. And in a general sense, it's ensuring that everyone remains vigilant and ready to respond in the event to prevent disease spreading in the individual territories.
He said vigilance must be exercised.
We should recall that Mpox was a public health emergency previously, and that declaration was lifted sometime last year, I believe sometime around March. All right. Now, what has been observed is that there has been continued spread of the disease in Central Africa, particularly in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, what we have learned from past experiences is that anytime there's a disease outbreak happening anywhere, all right, depending on the nature of that disease, it can quickly spread from, country to country. So it is not impossible, all right, anymore in today's context for a disease to spread from Central Africa, make its way over to the Americas, make its way into the Caribbean, and do so in quite quick time because of the global nature. So we want persons to, one, stay informed and be aware that this condition is occurring out there, and to inform yourself of what you need to do to to protect yourself.
A 2-acre plot of land, which was designated years ago for a housing development, is now being reconsidered by the government as a potential site for enhancing housing options for Ladigue and neighboring communities. Honorable Lennox Andrews, the parliamentary representative for St. Andrew Southwest and Minister for Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, visited the site with Permanent Secretary Isaac Bagwan and technical officers from the Department of Lands to explore possibilities for subdividing the land.
So we are visiting the site today with our staff so that they can see exactly what we're speaking about, so that they can do the plan for the subdivision and for also the creation, the putting in place of all the social utilities and amenities that will go with a decent housing project here. So the idea is to put together a decent housing plan. We don't want to create no shanty town. We don't want to create. We want to do something that, at the end of it, we can be proud of, that will uplift the standard of our people.
Minister for Agriculture, Honorable Lennox Andrews. Once the plan is finalized, the regulations will be established to guide the development of the housing units. According to Andrews, no final decision has been made on the project's format, but one possibility is incorporating the structures into Project 500.
It's either we construct the houses, because government has a plan to build 500 Grenada type houses. So chances are this can be part of that program. But of course, individuals may have their own style and they may want to construct their own home. So that could also be a consideration. But whatever the case is, there will be covenant in place to ensure that the houses that are being built are of a certain standard. Because as I said before, we don't want to create no shanty town in going forward as a people. We want to ensure that we have a higher living standard, and that must be reflected in the quality of the houses.
The area will feature ample green space and will not include any shops or supermarkets.
The intention, if we have 2 acres, there are about 42,000 square feet in an acre. The intention is to have lots no bigger than 5,000 square feet. Good? So that will give a sense of the number of houses that we could have. And of course, as I said before, we're going to have certain covenants in place to regulate housing size, housing construction. You can build 2-story if you want, you could build 1-story if you want. But given the limited land space that we have, it is advisable that from now on you build with 2-story. And of course, you always have to bear in mind that we have to build back smart and build back better. And those building codes would also be in vogue, in place here, as we create that new settlement in Ladigue area.
The government intends to complete the project within 2 years. The Grenada Tourism Authority reports a significant increase in visitor arrivals in the first half of this year from January to July 2024. Visitor numbers have risen by 20% compared to 2019 and 18% compared to 2023, reflecting the continued growth of Grenada as a sought-after destination despite recent challenges. In the month of July 2024 alone, visitor arrivals increased by 10% over 2019 and 5% over 2023. Travel intelligence and data analytics company Forward Keys produced a detailed analysis of the impact of Hurricane Beryl and included a focus on the quick recovery of Grenada as one of their case studies. Its Director of Intelligence and Marketing, Oliver Ponti, said, and I quote, "The market has shown impressive resilience, quickly bouncing back to normal booking levels. Our comprehensive travel intelligence clearly shows the significant short-term impact that Hurricane Beryl had on travel to the Caribbean, particularly to those islands in the direct path of the storm," unquote. Following the passage of Hurricane Beryl, tourism officials worked tirelessly to reassure the world and major source markets of the Tri-Island states' resilience. While the northern parts of the island and sister isles needed relief aid and assistance, mainland Grenada remained open for visitors. These conscientious strategic efforts have been pivotal in
achieving these impressive results. CEO of the Grenada Tourism Authority, Petra Rhodes, said, and I quote, "We are thrilled to see such positive growth in our visitor arrivals during this period, which speaks volume about Grenada's enduring appeal and the hard work of our tourism stakeholders," unquote. She added that the strategic efforts to maintain and grow the market share have been multifaceted. Key source markets, travel and airline partners were actively engaged to convey the message that Grenada is open and ready to welcome visitors. The GIS News will return after the break. Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit. Welcome back. The Caribbean Examinations Council CXC released the May-June 2024 CSEC results in Dominica on Tuesday. CXC officials highlighted the trends over the last 5 years, which show increases and decreases in various subject areas and consistency in others. Director of Operations at CXC, Dr. Nicole Manning, said the results show a 69% pass rate, which is consistent with the rate of 2023. She explained that the results are more than just a reflection of qualifications, but a representation of the pathway to the future of the candidates.
The overall performance, as I close, for Cape, we're seeing a 92.19%, a little slight reduction over previous year 2023, but better than 2022. And for CSEC, we have an overall performance of 69%, consistent with last year, but more than we would have had in 2021-2022. So, colleagues, permanent secretaries, Honorable Minister, Educational Ecosystem, we say the suite that is presented by CXC, I'm just highlighting a few, the CAPE, the CSEC, CVQ, CCSLC, they augur well as candidates move to get their certificates, diplomas, and associate degrees also offered by CXC. These qualifications are more than just the results they receive today. I want to point that we are aiming strategically to equip the human capital of the region for entrepreneurial ventures, for employment, further education. And as I'm saying, it's more than qualification, but a pathway for the future of our candidates.
Dr. Wayne Wesley, CXC's Registrar and CEO, made a call for more emphasis to be placed on math and English from the low levels to the fifth forms. Improved performance in these core areas augurs well for better employment opportunities.
English and mathematics are fundamental to learning and functioning in the world today. And let me say, I have no objection, and in fact, it is important for our students to be rounded, but I think it is critical and vitally necessary for us to give greater emphasis on English and mathematics and the competencies to be acquired, because these two subjects are the foundation on which anything else can be acquired or learned or achieved. So we need to give greater emphasis there.
He said CXC is exploring artificial intelligence tools to enhance the teaching and learning experiences. Adopting a digital literacy approach will make the region more globally competitive.
At CXC, we realize the exciting potential of artificial intelligence and tools like ChatGPT to be leveraged in the learning and development process, to excite and engage our students for all subject areas. As an imperative, we are now exploring AI tools to help the system to enhance the teaching and learning process. And soon you will be able to share what we have learned. We'll be able to share what we have learned and how to deploy for swift and vast results. Digital literacy is fundamental to how we build life competencies for creative thinking, critical thinking, learning to learn, communication, collaboration, and social responsibilities.
Candidates accessed the preliminary results slip on Tuesday, August 20th via CXC's portal. Continuing the news, this year Grenadian students as well as secondary school students in the region can immediately download, share and save their results through CXC's electronic preliminary slip. The e-pre-slip was launched on Tuesday at a press conference to announce the release of the May-June 2024 CSEC results in Dominica. CXC traditionally provides candidates with a preliminary slip, which is a statement of the candidate's examination results before the official release of certificates. These are currently only available in a physical printed format. For the May-June 2024 examinations, the organization made a transition to e-pre-slips, which candidates can download immediately via the online student portal and share with higher education institutions or prospective employers.
It's a downloadable, verifiable, digital version of the pre-slip. And I'm going to have a video played so we have sent out already frequently asked questions and so on, so for you to utilize that. Candidates, you can now utilize this result by sharing it with employers and institutions and so on immediately.
That was Director of Operations at the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Nicole Manning. Grenada will soon establish a licensing system for technicians in the air conditioning and refrigeration sector as part of the country's ongoing efforts to reduce damage to the ozone layer and lower greenhouse gas emissions. This announcement was made by Leslie Smith, head of the National Ozone Unit in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy during the opening ceremony of a week-long training program for refrigeration and air conditioning technicians. The Train the Trainers initiative is part of the Cool Contributions Fighting Climate Change project, which has been implemented in partnership with GIZ and the National Ozone Unit.
The situation that we have here now in Grenada is that you cannot purchase an R290 air conditioner if you have not been trained in how to use it. So it's not just about servicing it, but if you go to any of the 4 suppliers of R290 air conditioners to purchase an air conditioner, they would pull a list to see if your name is on the list. And because you are doing this training for the first time, except I think Ricardo, you would not be able to purchase an R290 air conditioner. And very soon we're going to have a licensing system in place for technicians that tells you what category of equipment you can operate on. So some people may have a license only for domestic refrigerators, for unitary air conditioners, for mobile air conditioning systems. Some people may have it for all classes of equipment. But a competency-based evaluation will be done to determine what type of license you will get to perform in the sector. And all that is an effort to promote the safety and to ensure that we have competent technicians here practicing in the field.
Grenada is recognized as a leader in the AC and refrigeration sector, known for its high-quality training programs and the promotion of natural refrigerants. Mr. Smith emphasized that the ministry is committed to maintaining this leadership.
We are so very much advanced in our program here. And Nabil was in the lab this morning looking at the equipment, and he was utterly impressed with the type of equipment that we have here, the most modern type of equipment, things that even some developed countries may not have in their laboratories for training people. I'm saying all that to say that there is a lot of support that is being provided for the sector here in Grenada, and this training this week is part of that.
Currently, 16 experienced technicians are undergoing a rigorous 4-day train-the-trainers workshop, which includes both theoretical and practical components. This training is critical given the new generation of refrigerants being imported into Grenada, which are either flammable, toxic, or operate under high pressure. The workshop will focus on how to safely handle these refrigerants and implement best practices in the field.
In Grenada here, there's a straight case as well. You guys are technicians, and you know for a fact the number of air conditioners that you are currently installing is unprecedented. We even had scarcity of air conditioners from some suppliers because of two principal reasons. One, people's economic standing has improved, and now they can afford to purchase and operate ACs. And secondly, and most importantly, is the increased global atmospheric temperatures. People need comfort cooling or life-saving cooling now. And so more and more air conditioners are being installed. What we also see happening is that air conditioners using flammable refrigerants are coming in. So the R32s are coming in. The R290 is already here. And you will be called upon to either install or service these air conditioners. R600A in domestic refrigerators is widespread. R290 in the commercial or semi-commercial refrigerating equipment is already widespread. You would have to work on those, but you have to know how to do it safely. There are cases where people who are unaware of these technologies, especially with domestic refrigerators, and take the torch to cut the lines, it's a flammable gas in there. R600A is highly flammable. So we need to teach you from a very early stage on the safety considerations for handling those types of gases. So you have to pay particular attention to that. The other thing that I want to mention very quickly, it's not business as usual anymore. Your toolkit would have to be changed. Now you have to get equipment that is designed for flammable refrigerants, right? Intrinsically safe equipment. But not only that, the way you would have sized an AC for a room before using the fluorinated gases, the R410A and so on, it's a complete different issue now in terms of how you size your air conditioning unit. Now you have to look at the charge size of the air conditioner and the room size. Because what we have to ensure is that if there is a leak in the conditioned space and all the refrigerant gets in there, it should not be enough to support combustion. That's the critical thing with these R290 air conditioners. So it's not mainly about heat load anymore, but it's about the safety issues related to the appliance.
This is the GIS News. When we return, Ministry of Education launches its school maintenance program.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education pushes ahead with plans to maintain its institutions island-wide through a school maintenance program. It has employed a maintenance officer to oversee operations of more than 100 schools on mainland and in Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Annette Moore has the details in this report.
To support the new school maintenance program at the Ministry of Education, the ministry has employed a maintenance officer. Denton Photo took up his role as maintenance officer on August 6th. Photo comes into this new position with many years of experience in building technology. He will work alongside Project Officer Ruth Charles, on all ongoing infrastructure projects. In his role as maintenance officer, Foto, a former educator, will oversee the operation of school maintenance for more than 100 schools in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. He will work with several individuals contracted by the ministry to perform school maintenance in an effort to avoid disruption to school time. Foto told us more about his responsibilities.
My role basically is to ensure that small construction work has been taken care of. Basically, when I say small construction work, I'm thinking basically in terms of plumbing, electrical, windows, doors, locks and stuff. Those things that that are needed for the day-to-day efficient running of the school.
Foto highlighted what are some of the key areas requiring attention.
Plumbing is one of the major problems that schools have difficulties with. There's always leakage within the system. Toilets, they have to be maintained. There are a lot of damaged toilets. This could have been a result of many things. One of the major problems, if we realize those things, is vandalization. Children tend to vandalize, break up, mash up, the toilet seats, the handles, and these things hinder the proper functioning of, those toilets and stuff.
The maintenance officer says he would like to assist in improving the efficiency with which maintenance is executed.
By having the contractors out in the field that you could reach quite readily, I think it makes it a lot easier to ensure that certain things could be done in a more timely manner. So problems like broken pipes, problems with doors and louvers and things can be dealt with more speedily than before. There's basically 13 contractors that are hired from the ministry ends right now. These contractors are organized, I don't want to say on a constituency basis, but it's something like that, They're called districts. They are basically, they don't say constituency, but they say districts. So there are 13 contractors. Each contractor is responsible for the schools, an average of 8 to 10 schools, A matter of fact, I shouldn't say 8 to 10, but 8 to 12 schools. There are also 3 supervisors that help look at the work being done by those contractors, They relate to me directly and to ensure that everything is done in accordance to how it's supposed to be done.
Foto notes the magnitude of the task ahead, but is positive that with cooperation and a little patience from stakeholders, there will be marked improvement in school maintenance.
Based on what I've seen so far, I know it's a challenge, it's a task, that has to be dealt with over time. Everything cannot be done immediately. Schools have immediate needs, and some cases they need to be attended to immediately. If there is a situation like that, or we think the school needs urgent attention, then we will give it, try to sort it out as best as we can. But it's an ongoing process, so then, it's not just at 1 month or 2 months, it can be something that's happening right throughout the year. So if you don't get everything done immediately, be assured that as we go along, we'll deal with those issues that you so require that we attend to.
Since taking up his new role, Foto has attended a follow-up meeting with contractors engaged for the school maintenance program on July 8th and has been in the field meeting with contractors and visiting work sites. Foto will prepare reports for the ministry to monitor and evaluate the functioning of the school maintenance program and receive work requests from schools. The addition of a maintenance officer is expected to boost the quality and regularity of school maintenance. For GIS News, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell recently hosted a grade 5 student who dreams of becoming Grenada's first female Prime Minister. Haley, who is a student of the Samaritan Presbyterian School, stood up during a town hall meeting in the parish of St. Patrick to ask the Prime Minister about challenges of being a Prime Minister. Her bravery prompted the Prime Minister to extend an invitation for a more personal engagement. During Haley's visit, she got the opportunity to sit in the chair of the Prime Minister.
My day at the Prime Minister's office was amazing. I had lots of fun chatting with the Prime Minister in his office. We chat about things like how we can help the people in our community. We also chat about computers and phones.
Haley believes that herself and peers can make anything they aspire into a reality.
Thanks for letting me stay with you for the day, Prime Minister. And I would like to say that the children in my class and also my school or around my community, if you dream big and work hard and focus, you could make that dream a reality.
35-year-old Tessana Alexander of Happy Hill St. George participated in her first art exhibition over the weekend. Tessana was born with cerebral palsy, which is caused by damage to or abnormalities inside the developing brain that disrupt the brain's ability to control movement and maintain posture and balance. As a result, Tessana was homeschooled and has developed a passion for art, sunset and flora, and uses her mouth to control the strokes of the brush.
I look at YouTube. I follow somebody who teach art, so I fall in love with her passion and the way I started to do it, seeing how she doing it, and I like it since I know myself. So I started like 2020, 2020, 22. Yeah. So over 2 years, 2 years. Yeah. So at the home, I sit down in a chair and I do it by my mouth because I cannot use my hands or anything. So I hold the brush with my mouth. So I have the paint across my chest and the book in front of me. So I use a small brush to do it. I see something, but seeing it, I can't do it, so I just come up with my own ideas. I'm into sunset and flowers, landscaping, and this kind of thing. I'm more doing sunset, but I'm starting to move on to the roads, and so.
Her father, Glenroy Alexander, is proud that she has never allowed her disability to hinder her progress.
I'm very proud of her because to see that she don't have a school education, and the way she improved herself, she's very into technology. She Instagram, Facebook, just name it. So I'm very proud of her the way she achieved the achievement she made. And today is a very good day for her to give her the exposure that people could see what she could do and what she can do. So I'm very proud of the moment that she had today.
Support system and friend of the family, Mrs. Eunice Sandy David, commended Tessana's bravery and spirit of resilience and vowed to continue to support her dreams.
The only movement that she has is her head and neck. She's paralyzed. The rest of her body is paralyzed. So certainly the fact that she's participating in this pop-up art exhibition, courtesy Grenada Art Council, I really, really believe that her level of determination that's been demonstrated by the fact that she has to use her mouth and control of her tongue on a paintbrush to produce such wonderful paintings. Most likely able-bodied persons wouldn't have the patience to do same. So certainly her journey and her achievement is really, really worthy of applause. It's worthy of emulation. She's a young person and she probably knows more about technology than the majority of us. She's able to manipulate it by using a pointer in her mouth. So it's certainly a joy for me to be a friend of the family and to be able to support her in this way.
Children from age 7 and above are at the Grenada Boys Secondary School during the summer to engage in the Learn to Play Chess Summer Camp. The camp is held annually after the carnival season for 1 week. It has become a staple of Grenada's summer activities, focusing on teaching participants the fundamentals of chess while fostering critical thinking, strategy, and patience. This year's camp has attracted over 30 participants. Carlisle Glean Jr., Vice President of the Grenada Chess Federation, said that chess is more than a game and is in fact an exercise to develop lifelong skills.
Chess is on the curriculum in a number of developed countries. Yes, Canada is a good example. Chess in education is massive. The benefits of chess is well documented. Our hope is to work with SGU to just monitor the schools, the performances of members of chess clubs, schools with chess clubs, as against those who are not. It normally assists in your ability to concentrate, your ability to handle adverse conditions, your ability to strategize. And I'm saying these things in a general way because although you develop that skill in chess, it's transferable to whatever walk of life, whatever area of studies, whatever your career is, and even your social life.
Glean Jr. encourages mass participation in the game.
The national discourse changes when the majority of people are familiar with the game. They don't have to be experts. And I wanted to differentiate the mass participation in chess as against elite participation. So you will see there's several gyms around the island. There's several groups walking on mornings. And they do not do that because they plan to go to the Olympics necessarily. They do it for their own physical health. Now, chess is a great mental health, I call it therapeutic game. It prepares you, and when children start learning chess at an early age, it benefits them throughout their lifetime. And they do not have to be, on a national team. But just by playing, and you play online now, there are several sites, chess.com, leechess.com, that is free.
He said that, like Canada, schools in Grenada will be able to adopt chess as part of its curriculum.
It's an appeal to the corporate citizens in Grenada to reach out to the Federation and try to assist in supporting in one form or the other, because we're all operating on a voluntary basis, and we're hoping too that the principals of the various primary and secondary schools would understand what is being attempted. There are very few schools that have embraced the game the way the Federation would have liked. And it's an appeal to teachers, games teachers, to reach out, whether it's through the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Sports, or directly to the Chess Federation, to be a little more involved and aggressive and get excited about introducing the game in your institution, in your organization, in your schools.
The summer camp concludes on Friday, August 23rd. This is the GIS News. Coming up after the break in sports, the Ministry of Youth and Sports congratulates the Grenada Carafta Triathlon team on its achievement at the 6th Carafta Triathlon Championship over the weekend in Barbados.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
The Ministry of Youth and Sports congratulates the Grenada Carifta Triathlon team on its achievements at the 6th Carifta Triathlon Championships in Barbados over the weekend. Grenada copped a gold and 2 silver medals. The Most Spirited Athlete Award went to Grenadian Angelina Glennis-Bain of the more than 200 athletes who participated. Head coach of the triathlon team, Mark DeCall, is very proud of his team of 8 athletes whom he said did very well.
We did excellent. For the first time we got medals in the individual races, so Kobe Sylvester won gold in the men's 20 to 21 event. Nina James won silver in the girls 16 to 19 event. And then we had, the full results are not out yet, but we had a number of top 10 finishes in some of the other age groups. We believe a top 5 in the 11 to 12 girls event. So still to be confirmed. In the aquathon, we had another silver in the women's 16 to 19 event. And again, some more top 10 finishes, and I believe a top 5 finish in the girls 11 to 12. In the mixed team relay, it was very heavily contested. Bermuda and Barbados had quite a number of teams, and I think they took up maybe the first 6 or 7 spots. But we were 10th in that race. We were very, very proud and happy with how we did, especially with a very inexperienced team. So we're very happy to come 10th, and we beat most of the other islands. We beat Bahamas, we beat Jamaica, we beat all of these places. So very happy. And overall, we came 5th in the championships with only an 8-athlete team compared to 35 and 40 athletes that the other teams had. So very, very proud of how everybody did.
DeCall explained what was expected of the athletes in the competition.
There are 3 events at the championships. On the Saturday, everybody does the individual race. So everybody does the swim, ride, and run individually. On the Sunday, there are 2 events. There's the aquathon. So it's a swim and run event, so the same thing but no bike. And then the second event on a Sunday is a big event. It's the mixed team relay. So the countries put together their best 4 athletes. They have to use from the different age groups. It's 4 athletes on the team, but each person does their own triathlon. So the first athlete goes out, does a swim, a ride, and a run. They run back down onto the beach, and they tag the next person. They jump in the water, and they do the whole triathlon. They come back, they tag the next person.
He also used the opportunity to commend Grenada's Olympians on their achievement at the just concluded Paris Olympics. He says they are inspiring his team and others to continue to make Grenada proud.
We're so proud of all the athletes that went to the Olympics. Everybody did an amazing job. It's wonderful for Grenada that these are the things we're doing. And getting those medals this year again. We now have 3 Olympic medalists from Grenada, and that's amazing. And I suppose 2 weeks after that event, we're all riding high on that, and we're all motivated, and we went in there wanting to make sure we made Grenada proud of us as well.
On their return to Grenada, the athletes spoke about their experience at the Carifta Triathlon Championships.
Kobe Sylvester. I participated in the men's 20 to 21 triathlon, and I also helped my team in the mixed relay this weekend. This is the first time I've medaled in the Carifta Games. I've gone for the past 2 years, so it feels good to bring home a gold. The experience is really good. The course was extremely hot, but it was fun overall. I think we had a great time with the team.
Nina James, Grenada's 2023 Young Sportswoman of the Year in swimming, received 2 silver medals. She participated in the individual triathlon in the 16 to 19 age group, the aquathlon, and mixed relay.
This is my first time medaling in the individual triathlon this year. I've competed in the Carifta Games for 2 years now, and I haven't gotten one, so I'm really happy about that. Double silver, which is also quite nice, but next year definitely gold.
The most spirited athlete of the championship is Angelina Bain.
And it was really good. It was pretty. I wasn't so nervous, but kind of. I participated in the swim and run, which is aquathon, and I also did the triathlon and the relay team.
Okay, so you made a lot of friends as well.
Yeah.
Grenada is hosting its second basketball camp at the Laborie Indoor Sporting Complex from August 27th to 29th. It's an initiative of the Canada-based Focused Dreams Forward Foundation, which will target male and female players ages 8 to 13 and runs from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The grassroots initiative, which started last year, is catering to 50 participants.
Each of the participants will also receive a basketball to take back to the community. And this year, we're looking at having a pair of sneakers for some of the more outstanding players from the camp. Repeaters from last year will also get something special. Looking forward to having a lot of females, and they're partnering with 10 of our local coaches. So some of the coaches who are currently under the Basketball Association coaching at the secondary schools. Also some of the younger coaches will be involved in the program as well. So what we've done is that we've reached out to our affiliates, which are 17 clubs, and they would actually get first preference. There is a registration process. We will actually start circulating the flyer so that persons who not are part of the affiliated teams can get an opportunity to register. But first of all, we want to reach out to the areas where we know that there is actually a grassroots program. For instance, River Sally with Dr. Carla Salaja George, St. Mark, SBF, St. Andrews Basketball Foundation, which is run out of Grenville. So we want to ensure that first priority is given to where the Basketball Association run programs. The kids get an opportunity to be a part of it and then open it for the wider public.
That's the president of the Grenada National Basketball Association, Kester Elcock. Transportation and meals will be provided for the participants. Grenada's national senior swim coach, Natalie Regis, wants young people to take advantage of the swimming programs at the Ministry of Sports. One of the ministry's many programs, the Breakwater Summer Camp, began on Tuesday in St. Patrick. It runs from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and will also be held on August 21st, 23rd, and 28th, and will culminate with a swim challenge from 8:30 a.m. to midday on Friday, August 30th. Ms. Regis says there are other programs that swimmers can take advantage of.
We can identify them, encourage them to be part of the program, encourage them to come more regularly to train, because we do have quite a few programs that they can team up with, and we can get them on board. And we definitely don't want to leave anyone, lingering on the side. So there are a lot of programs that they can be part of. Through the ministry, we have our ongoing, continuous, what we call the follow-up program. So children can come and continue training. It's not yet, in terms of the actual support, hasn't been identified, it hasn't been established per se, but Natalie being Natalie, she wants to make sure every child is looked after and just make sure everyone is on the right path. So you give them, we see the talent, we encourage them to come as we would have done in the past.
Finally, in news of football from Trinidad, Grenada and St. Martin contested the last game of Match Day 5 at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on Monday in the Tier 2 Group C encounter in the 2024 CFU Boys Under-14 Challenge Series. That match ended in a 1-1 draw. A report from the Caribbean Football Union, CFU, says Grenada got out the gates quickly, being all over their opponents, and got on the score sheet early in the game. Xylon Jeffrey was played through by Kadon Williams, and the forward calmly slotted past Aidan James to give his team the early advantage. St. Martin, however, got their first sighted goal in the 9th minute. Jahir Marlin found some space between the Grenadian defense and found Joshua Hughes Pringle with a cross, but the forward shot straight into the waiting hands of Curland Gabriel in goal for Grenada. And that's the GIS Evening Sports. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. The sports highlights just ended the GIS News for Tuesday, August 20th. A recap of the top story. Top medical official says Grenada is under no immediate threat of Mpox. And in sports, Ministry of Youth and Sports congratulates the Grenada Carifta Triathlon team on its achievement at the 6th Carifta Games over the weekend. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rakisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us.
Alrighty, and of course that's it for tonight, and we have not gotten the localized weather for tonight. So I just want to say blessings to those of you who are online as usual. Marcel on YouTube, Suzanne, Marcus, Hillary, who else is there? And everybody else, really. Everybody else. Jonathan, Jennifer, Elon, the whole crew who is usually there. Blessings to you, Catherine, and everybody. And on Facebook, we want to say hello to those of you who are there with us. Andy, Shireen, Kireen, Diana, Java and the sharing committee, Ruth, Goddess, Shelley. Who else? Caddy, Beverly, Tasha, Kireen, and all the other, Jeanette, Joseph, thank you very much. Nikita, Dean, Andy, Ali, and Lyra. All right. Barbara, Pearl, Bermuda, Michelle. So take care of yourselves and may God bless you and your family. We'll touch base again tomorrow, God's willing, same time, same place. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, ja, no. Take care of yourself, my friends. We'll touch again. We'll see again.